3 hours. That's what the alert says. Not 5 minutes of chaos, not 10 seconds of panic. 3 full hours to decide what you save and what you abandon forever. And here's the problem. Most people waste the first 2 hours trying to pack their entire life into a car. They fill garbage bags with clothes they'll never wear. They stack up boxes of books they'll never read. They wrap picture frames they'll never hang. And when hour 3 hits, when the smoke is visible or the water is rising or the riots are 2 blocks away, they realize something brutal. The car is full, but the essentials are missing. That's the difference between a 5-minute evacuation and a 3-hour evacuation. 5 minutes teaches you what keeps you alive. 3 hours tests whether you're smart enough to use the time. So here's the protocol. Not what to grab, how to think. Because if you think like a refugee, you pack like one, and refugees survive. Hour 1 is not for packing. Hour 1 is for deciding. You don't touch a single item in the first 60 minutes. You make lists, 3 lists. List 1, irreplaceable. These are items that cannot be replaced with money, time, or effort. Birth certificates, passports, social security cards, deeds, titles, hard drives with photos, medication you can't refill, family heirlooms that existed before you and must exist after. Not everything sentimental, only things that rebuilding your life legally or emotionally requires. This list should fit in one fireproof bag. If it doesn't, you're lying to yourself about what's irreplaceable. List 2, survival. Not comfort, survival. Water, food that doesn't spoil, clothing for the climate you're evacuating into, shelter items if you're going into the wilderness, cash and small bills, copies of your irreplaceable documents, first aid, fire starters, tools. This list should fit in one backpack per person. If it doesn't, you're packing luxuries. List 3, restart. These are items that let you rebuild faster when the crisis ends. Laptop with charger, phone with charger, portable battery banks, USB drives with scans of every important document, a change of professional clothes for job interviews, basic toiletries so you don't look like a disaster victim when applying for housing or aid. This list fits in one duffel bag. 3 lists, 3 containers, 1 hour to write them down. Because the people who survive evacuations with their futures intact are the ones who didn't guess, they decided.
Hour 2 is execution. Now you pack, but you don't pack rooms, you pack categories. Start with list 1. Irreplaceable items go into the fireproof bag first. Then list 2, survival items into backpacks. Then list 3, restart items into the duffel. And here's the discipline most people fail. If it's not on the list, it doesn't go in the bag. Your brain will fight you. It'll whisper, what about the photo albums? What about the good dishes? What about the gaming console? Ignore it. Those items exist in one of 2 states, replaceable or dead weight. If it's replaceable, you can buy another when you rebuild. If it's dead weight, it slows you down now and becomes trash later. Because here's what nobody tells you about evacuations. Half of what people pack gets abandoned at checkpoints, shelters, or secondary evacuation points. The car breaks down, the road floods, the shelters has no large items, and suddenly the box of keepsakes you fought to save becomes the box you leave on the side of the highway. So pack light, pack smart, pack like you might have to carry it all on foot. By the end of hour 2, you should have 3 packed containers and room left in your vehicle. That room is not for more stuff, it's insurance. Hour 3 is strategy. This is when most people are still packing. You're done packing. Now you prepare for the evacuation itself. First, fuel. If your car is under half a tank, you fill it now, not later, now. Because gas stations during evacuations turn into war zones. Lines stretch for blocks, pumps run dry, people fight over spots. You fuel early or you don't fuel at all. Second, route planning. You don't follow the crowd. The main highway out of the city will be gridlock. You need 2 backup routes, not 1, 2. Side roads, service roads, routes that take longer but move faster because nobody else thought of them. Download offline maps. Cell towers fail, GPS fails, the crowd doesn't. If you can navigate without signal, you can escape while others are stuck asking strangers for directions.
Third, communication. You tell 3 people where you're going. 1 family member, 1 friend outside the evacuation zone, 1 local contact who's staying behind. If something happens to you, someone knows where to look. And you establish check-in times. Every 6 hours, you send a text. If you miss 2 check-ins, they assume you're in trouble. This isn't paranoia. This is survival documentation. Fourth, cash. ATMs fail during evacuations, card readers fail, banks close, digital payment dies, but cash works. You need small bills, not hundreds, 20s, 10s, 5s, 1s, because the person selling you water on the side of the road can't make change for 100. And you need enough for 3 days of basics: food, fuel, shelter, tolls. $300 minimum, $600 if you're smart. Fifth, the car itself. You don't just park and go. You check tire pressure, you check oil, you check coolant, you check your spare. Because breaking down during an evacuation is a death sentence. Not dramatic, literal. Emergency services are overwhelmed. Tow trucks aren't coming. The people passing you aren't stopping. If your car dies, you're walking, and everything you packed becomes everything you leave behind. Sixth, one last walkthrough. You go through your home one final time. Not to grab more things, to turn off the gas, to unplug appliances, to shut windows, to lock doors. Not because you think it'll survive, because you're not giving the disaster any help. And because walking away from a locked door feels different than walking away from an open one. It's a psychological closure. You're not abandoning your home. You're protecting what you can and accepting what you can't. By the end of hour 3, you're in your vehicle, engine running, route planned, bag secured. And you're not sitting in traffic with everyone who waited into the last minute. You're ahead of the wave.
Now let's talk about what happens when you leave. You will see people still packing, families arguing in driveways, cars overloaded with furniture, people trying to fit mattresses on roof racks. You will want to help. Don't. Your job is not to save your neighbors. Your job is to save yourself and the people in your car. Every minute you stop is a minute closer to gridlock. You keep moving. You'll see abandoned cars, people who ran out of gas, people whose engines overheated, people who packed so much weight their suspension failed. You don't stop to ask if they're okay. You note the hazard and you navigate around it, because the moment you stop, you risk becoming the next abandoned car. You'll feel guilt. It's natural. It's also irrelevant. Guilt is a luxury you afford after survival. During evacuation, guilt gets you killed. You will second-guess your packing. You'll think about the things you left, the photo albums, the instruments, the collections. Ignore it. Those items are gone. Mourning them now doesn't bring them back. It just distracts you from the road. At some point, you'll hit a checkpoint. Military, police, FEMA, they will ask where you're going. They will ask if you need help. They might search your car. Be calm. Be cooperative. Be boring. The people who argue with checkpoints are the people who get delayed. The people who comply are the people who pass through. Your goal is to be forgettable, not memorable, not problematic, forgettable. When you reach your destination, you don't unpack everything. You unpack only what you need for that night, because evacuations have phases: escape, shelter, return, or relocate. You don't know which one you're in yet, so you stay ready. 3 hours is a gift. Most people don't get it. Use it right, and you don't just survive the evacuation. You survive what comes after.